Today I'm reviewing Professor Tim Spector. We're going to just be critiquing and analyzing what he eats in a day. Let's go.
Hi there, I'm Tim Spector, Professor of Epidemiology and expert in gut health nutrition and co-founder of the company Zoe that brings you personalized nutrition. Now, I'm often asked, what do I eat? And so I thought I'd invite you into my home today to show you the range of things that I would eat on an average day. And let's start with breakfast. So let's go on to the most important.
To be clear, humans in nature, they would go get a kill, they would hunt, they would eat one large meal per day typically, sometimes 2 meals per day. So it looks like his day is structured into 3 meals, which is obviously not ideal or anthropologically consistent, but you know, we'll hear him out.
Drink of the day, and that is for me a black coffee.
Oh, wow. So this guy's already lost a lot of credibility. Obviously, coffee is overloaded with oxalates. Caffeine adrenalizes your body. It releases cortisol and adrenaline.
From good beans, dry roasted.
Again, seeds are the highest, most defended part of a plant. So very surprised he drinks this.
Packed with polyphenols. And it turns out that the Zoe...
Sure, polyphenols. Don't ignore the oxalates and phytic acid, though. And polyphenols, again, often act as a pro-oxidant in humans, especially in larger amounts.
Predict studies have shown that coffee drinkers have really high levels of a beneficial microbe that we call Freddy. You can tell instantly if someone's a coffee drinker or not just by looking at the gut microbes. So it's a great...
Let's say this is true. Who really cares? Firstly, it sounds like an associative study. Secondly, it's not an essential nutrient for humans. And you're still drinking seed water, which we know as a fact has oxalates and phytic acid in large amounts, which are going to bind to the minerals you actually want, like zinc and heme iron, calcium.
Great start, regardless of whether you're going to have breakfast or not.
How is it a great start if it also messes up your hunger hormone signaling? Again, it just releases stress hormones. How is that a great start?
Sometimes I don't. But let's assume we're in one of those days where I'm going to have the full breakfast. So the first thing I'm going to get out is some full-fat yogurt. It can be Greek style. It doesn't
Full-fat, amazing.
really matter as long as it's good quality and it has no other ingredients in it. So no sugars, fruits. It's not low-fat.
Okay, cool. Completely agreed. Awesome. Again, it's pasteurized, so a lot of the water-soluble and fat-soluble vitamins have been decreased. Again, they add back in probiotics to kind of ferment the yogurt. Of course, from the store, it's the least fermented yogurt you'll really ever have, but okay, it's not bad. It's pasteurized, whatever.
And for me, the fat is important because I learned when I did my own Zoe scores that breakfast I was
Oh, is this just an advertisement for his dumb app?
having, that was the sort of breakfast cereal stuff, even though it said healthy muesli on the packet, was giving really big bad glucose score.
No fucking shit. Hello, or is this guy stupid? You needed an app to tell you that?
So for me, starting off with a fatty breakfast means...
Wait, what the? Is this guy a fucking idiot? You needed an app to tell you that something made of sugar was giving you a bad glucose score. Which, by the way, you never need any exogenous glucose ever. Just saying. Your blood needs 4 grams, a teaspoon of glucose at any given time, and gluconeogenesis is the best way to get this 4 grams of glucose that you need. Again, when you consume sugar exogenously, you get a blood sugar spike, which excessive blood sugar, that's why, you know, a diabetic, type 2 diabetic might have to get his leg amputated. Chronically high blood sugar. Your body is very particular about how much blood sugar it wants. So when you're consuming exogenous glucose, the insulin has to rush in, transport this excess glucose from your blood into your cells because it's very toxic, okay? So obviously eating something made of glucose is unideal and it's going to behave that way. I don't know why he needed an app for that.
So I have a better metabolism, I'm less hungry later in the day. And then the other ingredient is kefir or kefir, which...
Good. Again, from the store, it's not really that fermented. There's still a lot of lactose in it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Amos Miller Farms. I know Agenus kind of spoke about Amos Miller. I've been having their dairy for a very long time. Their kefir is the most fermented kefir I've ever had in my life. I'll leave a link in the description. If you want the best kefir, I can't recommend it enough.
Is fermented milk, for those of you who don't know, and generally it's from cows, but you can also get it from goats. And this has about 5 times the number of live microbes as yogurt.
Should have way more, by the way. The real kefir, not the store-bought type, but...
I often make my own kefir, which is very easy to do and means you don't have to spend large amounts of money on fancy stuff. Next,
I made my own kefir, it's good.
Yet more fat and protein, actually, with some mixed nuts and seeds.
His first mistake. He is considering seeds and nuts as protein. Again, these are loaded with phytic acid. Again, seeds are the most defended parts of plants. Again, the amino acid profile is not complete. And the omega-3s are ALA, they're not EPA and DHA. As a human, you need EPA and DHA, okay? You can convert ALA, which are the omega-3s in seeds, to DHA and EPA. It's just at an extremely low ratio. Some people, it's like 5% conversion rate. Some people can't convert it at all.
Don't believe all those people that tell you you only have these super brands like chia seeds and ones that
don't believe anyone that tells you to eat seeds as a human.
Cost a fortune. Any real mix is good. They're all fantastic source, not only of polyphenols but also of fiber. To finish it off,
fiber is not an essential nutrient nor a nutrient for humans. It's an anti-nutrient. Again, that's why fiber slows the absorption of fructose from fruits, because it is an anti-nutrient. Again, people with digestive issues in controlled trials, when you remove fiber from their diet, all of their symptoms resolve. 100% of them. I'll leave the study in the description and comment section as well.
We're going to go for some berries. People often don't know this, but things like raspberries.
So you're going to activate the Randall cycle. You just had fat yogurt, now you're going to put berries in it. Okay, so you have glucose and fat competing for oxidation. Terrible metabolic state. It's going to lead to insulin issues.
People often don't know this, but things like raspberries have the highest fiber content of any plant.
So
plenty of blueberries, plenty of raspberries, and any other fruit you've got lying around. Just look in the fridge.
Yeah, just throw it in there.
Cut it up, whack it in. The greater the diversity, the better. Delicious.
No animal has a diverse diet, to be clear. Even animals that eat plants, like koalas, they eat around 2 different types of things. The point is, this idea that you need a balanced and varied diet to have a diverse microbiome, it's nonsense. Again, when we look at the actual analysis of carnivores' microbiomes, we look at the analysis of the Inuit, who pretty much only eat raw meat, raw seafood, they have excellent microbiomes.
And that's breakfast. Simple.
Okay, so as breakfast activated the Randall cycle, it had pesticides and anti-nutrients. It had seeds, again, packed with anti-nutrients, missing the actual omega-3s you need, and an incomplete amino acid profile. So it was not a great breakfast. At least you had some whole fat yogurt and some kefir. That was the only redeeming part of that breakfast.
And then we'll move on to lunch, and I'm going to show you what my really simple lunch is that is 100% score for me on my Zoe profile. And this is one that's really
Again,
good.
he's promoting this garbage app
For my metabolism, and is also boosting my microbes.
God, what a shameless advertisement for this shitty app that you don't need. I'll tell you exactly what you should eat. You don't need to buy. I have a health and looks community. I will self-promo it. If you're really interested in improving your looks, improving your health, getting access to talk to me one-on-one, and access to a community of individuals, I would check out the first link down in the description. I have all of my information there. Anyways, this is a shameless advertisement for an app you don't need. You don't need to buy my community to know how to eat well. You should be eating meat, eggs, seafood. Primarily, have some raw organs, grass-fed from a good source, not factory farmed. And if you want, you can have some low-carb fruits like avocado, tomatoes and nightshade. It's not too bad.
And it involves our friends, the avocado.
Fuck that stupid app and all of that garbage you're going to promote on there and hurt people's health. I already saw lentils on there. Why are those even an option? They're seeds and they're nutritionally void.
Full of fat, full of calories, but they are actually really...
Humans can't consume calories. We're not close to thermodynamic systems, and the measurement of calories, which is referring to how much energy it takes to heat up water by 1 degree Celsius in a closed thermodynamic system, doesn't apply to how we process food, which is chemically.
Good for you. And we're going to be putting them on some...
And avocados aren't really fat. They're more oils. They're oleic and linoleic acid. They're around 15% linoleic acid. That's what avocados are. Again, 15% linoleic acid would never occur in nature. It would be 4% at the highest. That's in something like pork. You know, natural beef has 2% linoleic acid.
Rye bread. And
okay, it's a bunch of seeds. Why is this guy recommending this? These videos piss me off because of how stupid our main figures are in nutrition. I mean, at least the paleo people understand bread isn't healthy nor natural. I don't understand why retards like this can't understand that.
While we're talking about bread, I should just remind you that the lunch I always used to have, particularly working as a busy doctor in the hospital for at least 10 years, was what I thought was healthy. I think I've got it somewhere here.
Well, look at what you're eating. You clearly haven't learned.
This is my go-to lunch in the hospital. So a bit of tuna and sweet corn
So Randall cycle activation.
Factory bread with some orange juice, and I used to have a packet of potato chips as well. And
Well, now you're eating rye bread. Do you think you like improved or something?
I've discovered that really was dreadful for my blood sugar levels.
No fucking shit. Is this guy stupid? Is this guy a professor? What the hell? Wow, you ate a lot of bread and orange juice. This is bad for me. No fucking shit, dude.
It was healthy. I was completely
How the fuck did you think that was healthy, dude? Are you stupid?
So they're rubbish.
Whoa.
Let's go to what is a really good healthy meal.
Ah, yeah, totally. The plant missing 15 micronutrients. That's what you should spread on bread. Wow, this guy didn't learn anything.
So we take an avocado.
Oh, and he put olive oil, which again, high linoleic acid content, poor omega-3 to 6 ratio.
And I will put it on the bread, but with some olive oil.
Oh,
It's not just any
for the polyphenols, right?
olive oil. We're talking about extra virgin olive
Who cares?
oil. And that's because that's the only one that has really high polyphenols.
Yeah, was waiting for that stupid thing. Polyphenols are not an essential nutrient for humans, and they act as pro-oxidants in any significant amount. What is this?
So we can be liberal with this. Don't worry about the calories. If it's high quality, it's going to be
Again, they don't apply. How do you not understand this?
good for you.
And now, if he would have put butter, that would have been better. Now he's putting olive oil, then he's putting avocados on bread. This is a terrible meal.
Yeah, it's good. We're going to get some paprika. We're going to
Again, another toxic spice. Again, in excess, that will literally outright kill you.
add a few tomatoes because they are actually gut boosters for me. And
Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah, you're worried about all of this, like your microbiome, and that's very important. You know, the gut-brain axis, depression, blah, blah, blah. You're ignoring literally so many essential nutrients. Where are your fat-soluble vitamins? Where are your amino acids? I don't see them. Where are your minerals going to be? Because again, you're eating these. Okay, yes, some fruits have some minerals. You're eating them with bread. Those minerals, bye, bye. They're friends with phytic acid now. This is an unbelievable day of eating from a professor. Absolutely disgraceful.
sometimes, not every time, I'll be honest, I will add some sauerkraut. This is
Again, a fermented plant. He's aware of kefir, yet he eats sauerkraut. Makes no sense.
fermented cabbage.
Yeah, we
And
know.
We just take some of this kraut out.
Again, it does get rid of a fair bit of the anti-nutrients through fermentation. Still, it's nutritionally void, but
And always make sure that you get sauerkraut that is not in vinegar. If it's in vinegar, all the microbes will be dead. Then, the final piece of the puzzle, if you've got them to hand, you can just whack on some beans. Beans are a fantastic source of everything from protein to fiber to...
again, fiber isn't a nutrient, and haven't you had enough? You've been speaking about it the entire time, dude. It's in all your food, and it's not even a nutrient. There's not a single bodily function that requires fiber. Same with exogenous glucose, not one.
polyphenols.
Who the fuck cares, bro? This guy pisses me off. Are you fucking stupid? Again, those are pro-oxidants. They're not an essential nutrient. Let's focus on essential nutrients that you aren't getting. Much of, at least. Vitamin A, D, E, and K2. Vitamin B12. Taurine, creatine, leucine. Where are those? Those are literally essential nutrients that you are missing. You're worried about pro-oxidants. Who cares?
Put them on. Let's have a few more.
Yeah, a few more.
So that is lunch done.
What is that? Look how far we have strayed. Again, in nature, we eat around 90% meat. You should be having a large portion of meat. And here you have a plant-based anti-nutrient bomb that's missing 15 micronutrients, which again, I'll list on screen the exact nutrients this meal is missing. And I'll also list on screen all of the anti-nutrients that are in this meal. Who cares about fiber, which we don't even use? It's just indigestible. It's an indigestible plant cellulose. You might as well just start eating sawdust or bark off a tree, because that's what fiber is. So if fiber is some essential nutrient, then start doing that, because it's not.
Which is designed to optimize my metabolism,
This guy has severe autism. This guy is one of the dumbest people I've ever seen.
microbiome, and hopefully taste great. That's great.
That's great, guys. Wait, is the app sponsorship still good? Is the sponsorship still going to be good if I don't react hard enough? Oh, okay, I gotta act like it's good. Okay. Oh, the app told me to eat this. Oh, it's so good. Oh, the polyphenols, the microbes, the fiber. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get paid? I'm going to get paid out for the app? Oh, I bet. Yeah, cool. Nice, guys.
This suits me and is the perfect setup for dinner. So now we're going to dinner, and my general...
Again, the third meal, which you shouldn't even be having. You should be having one meal. It should be dinner.
Theory for dinner is plant-based, diversity, spicy, and simple. Something doesn't
spicy. Again, spice is a literal sign of anti-nutrients and poisons to your tongue, but, go on.
See what I've got.
Packed with oxalates, fiber and water. All this is missing 15 essential nutrients.
Lying around. And we've actually got some leftovers from last night, which I've put together and I'm going to show you. But basically they are consistent of a base of cauliflower, which is a fantastically nutritious...
It's a flour. It's not even a vegetable. It's a flour that's nutritionally void.
Vegetables, not the base of cauliflower, which is a fantastically nutritious...
Name the nutrients then, dude.
Vegetables, not used as much as we should. You fry everything up first.
I have Alzheimer's because I have a B12 deficiency. He can't even speak straight.
With onions, red onions are probably the...
Yeah, something that literally makes you cry when you cut it open. It's totally wants to be eaten, Again, onions are packed with anti-nutrients. I will list them on screen. I will prove what I'm saying. Unlike this guy who just throws out the words without meaning behind them. And again, it's lacking 15 essential nutrients. And onions in themselves are extremely unnutritious for a plant food, even for a plant food.
The best for polyphenols. And then, of course...
How the fuck can you become obsessed with things that aren't even essential for humans? How can you be obsessed with things that aren't even nutrients for humans? That's your criteria. You made up your own criteria. Polyphenols and fiber. 2 things humans don't need. Insane.
What's really important is getting lots of spices in here. And we've got
oh my god,
turmeric, coriander, mustard seeds.
Oh my god. How is this even real life?
Cumin, garam masala, and randomized controlled studies have shown that if you just add some spices to your food every day,
what it'll do,
microbe is actually healthier. So it's a really good tip to start getting used to them and start adding them to your food.
For sure, dude.
Basically, I fried up the red onions and then I added the spices to that, making sure they were...
At least he cooks them. Again, that will disable some anti-nutrients. With meat, again, there are no anti-nutrients. You can just eat it raw if you want to. It has more water-soluble vitamins.
It was nice and hot.
Just like the Inuit do with seafood.
And then added in the cauliflower, which had been baked for 20 minutes in the oven.
Correct.
Then mixed...
You're a human with an acidic stomach acid, with a vestigial cecum, you have an appendix, and you eat mostly fiber. How dumb can you be?
Some kefir. And
thank you, something.
Is the probiotic stuff.
It's funny, the kefir and the yogurt is actually what's keeping this guy alive. If he didn't have that, he would literally be a walking dead skeleton. Those are the only things with the fat and protein that's actually bioavailable in those animal foods. It's what's keeping this guy even walking.
But without boiling it, making sure it's just kept warm so you don't kill those microbes.
Yeah.
Stir it all together.
Wow, I've never seen someone so focused on the most stupid shit. It's insane. And again, why are you cooking your food if you want the most bacteria? If you want the most probiotics, you should be eating raw meat. Duh. You should be drinking raw kefir. Duh. If you want the most probiotics. Is this guy dumb?
And then, just having reheated it, just to freshen it up a bit, I'm going to add in some more coriander. And so we've got
why?
In this...
Genuinely why?
Lots of different plants. With about 10 different plants in this mixture, which are going to boost my...
The amount of animals that can eat 10 species of plants is essentially 0, because you have to be extremely capable of disarming the specific plant toxins in a given plant.
Gut microbes, help my fiber, probiotics, and it's a fabulous meal.
No vitamin A, no vitamin D, no vitamin E. He doesn't name vitamins. He names something that isn't a nutrient. It's just what the fuck.
And just by heating it up, you often get more of the taste of those spices the next day. So let's
who fucking cares?
So you've now seen what I eat on an average day, and I don't eat like this every day. It varies, and I think you should also vary too. And
why? There's not a single species on Earth that varies. Slight seasonal changes, but the core of what every species eats is the same.
you should be eating the same thing. But I want to leave you with 4 key tips that I think work for nearly everybody. And they are, number 1, try and eat 30 plants a week. And that includes these herbs and spices and things that we've seen that you might not have.
I would just ask why. I would want, and no, I don't want fiber as the answer. I want why, and I want him to explain how I'm going to get vitamin A, D, E, and K2, the amino acids, and B12 in proper amounts by eating 30 plants a week. That's what I ask him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I had enough of Professor Tim Spector. Again, if you're someone interested in optimizing your health, optimizing your habits, and optimizing your looks, if you want to look good, feel good, I do urge you check out my school community, and here's kind of everything you'll get inside. You get all these courses to improve your looks. The diet and nutrition course, this is extremely important. I have all my nutritional information, everything you need to know about optimizing your health, optimizing your diet for success in 2025, as things are getting harder out here. Again, within the community, you get access to talk to me one-on-one if you have questions about your looks, about your health, about your life, really anything. You can always message me inside the course, and you get access to the community where people help each other out if you have questions about improving your looks, improving your health. So if this sounds interesting to you, I urge you do check it out. Click the first link down below. Thank you guys for suffering through Professor Tim Spector with me today, and I'll see you next time.